Hey, Garen. I'm Ben. I'll be your pilot on this flight through Ocarina of Time. Introduce you to the group in the back.
I'm gamestabled.
I'm Yashichi.
I'm gamestabled.
This is the Peanut Gallery.
Yep. So we got a big group here. Speaking of the donations, I think there's a file name donation incentive for this game. What is the winner?
Absolutely. So the winner of the file name bid war was Airboat.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds
Airboat, bringing us
good.
back to our Portal adventures.
I still don't know what that is, basically, but Airboat. All right. Okay. I'm gonna get started here, so I'll count you down. I will on go. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So this is Zelda. This is Ocarina of Time 3D for the Nintendo 3DS. Here's my 3DS. I got it plugged in, and I'm going to play it really fast, and it's going to be pretty good. So this game, if you're familiar with the N64 game, a lot of people are very familiar with that game. This game, you're going to see a lot of very similar things, but you're also going to see a lot of very different stuff that you've never seen before if you've never seen this game and you've only seen that game. So, I mean, we'll just explain those things as we get to them, I guess. Well, one of the big things that we're going to get started with is the cutscenes in this game. There are a decent amount of cutscenes in which you have to advance text boxes. But this game actually has some tech where you can advance the text boxes really, really fast. But every single text box is frame perfect, and each one saves anywhere from like 1 to 2 seconds if you get it. So I'm going to be mashing the B button very fast anytime there is text on the screen, starting now. There's only like a couple of text boxes in the game that you can't do it with, but I'll point some out when you get to it. So I got one there. Basically, the more text that's on the screen, the faster it is. So got some good ones there. Yep, I promise I won't talk about text anymore, but it's like a big deal. Yeah, so basically at the beginning of this game, the last time that this run was in a GDQ was a couple of years ago, so things have changed quite a bit. The beginning of the run's going to look pretty similar. There's going to be some added stuff here and there that's going to look a little different. There will be some swag. You will cheer, you will cry. It's going to be good. But we probably have time for like 1 or 2 donations just at the start.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a $25 donation from Salvo, who says, Sal here, greetings from Australia. I've been looking forward to Ocarina of Time in the 3rd dimension all week. Good luck on the run, Ben. The whole Zelda community is cheering you on. Shoutouts to the meme team. You are the stuff of dreams. Let's get some cute kittens. And real quick update, we're at $94,000 out of the 99 we need. So we are zooming, y'all. Let's keep it up. We're almost there.
Okay, so pretty soon here, we're going to start moving around. I'll start explaining some of the movement in this game. Also, I said I wasn't going to talk about text again, but this text has been really good, so I just want to point that out. Yeah, so movement in this game is pretty wacky. Like all good speed games, moving backwards is... over long distances is usually like the fastest way to do that. So you're going to see me walking backwards a lot. You're also going to see me do a lot of like side hops and some backflips and stuff like that. Backflips aren't particularly fast. And that's the fastest way to move, when you kind of strafe walk like I did right there. Not actually, it's really slow and it's hard to not do sometimes, but yeah. So the first thing I'm going to do here is get the Kokiri sword, and I'm going to use that item to leave Kokiri Forest early. I'm going to be doing a trick pretty soon to get past the guard that blocks the entrance to the forest. We call it a triple slash clip. Basically, if Link swings his sword 3 times in quick succession, and then puts it away very quickly, he can kind of just go through stuff because he takes like a really big step backwards. It's a very easy glitch to do most of the time, but this one's actually very difficult and completely non-trivial because you need to manipulate your camera in a very specific way in order for this to go correctly. There's some other ones that'll be happening later in the run that have variations that are a lot easier, but this one's pretty tricky, so I hope it goes well. Nope, thought I had that. Nope. Okay, nice. Oh, I gotta roll under this guy. All right, excellent. All right, that, a little sloppy, but I mean that's a really hard trick, so gives a lot of people trouble. So
Good job.
hey, thanks. And now we're gonna get the fairy ocarina, and so we probably have time for like one donation right here.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a $500 donation from S. Rebellier, who says, my cat is currently sitting in front of the monitor. Pretty sure she wants to see Stray at AGDQ. And I'm pretty sure your cat might see it because we're at 97,000 already, which puts us pretty much just $2,000 left to go. I'll let y'all know as soon as we hit it because that is going to hit any moment now.
Okay, so one of the first changes that happens to be in this run as opposed to some of the older runs that were in GDQs is we used to kind of have to wait for a day-night cycle that would happen. So once I enter Hyrule Field here, day is going to start transitioning from day to night. And usually we kind of had to wait around for, the cycle to kind of happen. And there was some stuff we could do in between that cycle, but now there's kind of a way to skip a lot of that. So actually the timing for the next couple of minutes here is going to be pretty tight. But first I got to talk to this guy. So there are some areas where time doesn't pass, and there's other areas where time does pass. And so I need to be moving very quickly in the areas where time does pass. So I'm going to be doing a trick here known as a forward extended super slide. Basically, if Link takes damage while holding a very specific position on the control stick, he can maintain his momentum and just kind of go really fast. So by taking recoil from the damage from that enemy right there, I can kind of just zoom across Hyrule Field. And this lets me go very fast. I'm going to grab some rupees here, secret chain rupees. Oh. And enter the market. So now time isn't passing anymore. So I still want to keep going fast though, because that's kind of the point of a speedrun. Okay. In the next area, this is kind of the trick that I was talking about that kind of changes this early portion, and it's really hard, and I might mess it up, and if I mess it up, I might just have to abandon it and not do it, but it's very difficult and very finicky, and requires some incredibly precise setups. Okay. So this setup is going to look really wacky. And it's going to look really long and tedious, but I promise this saves time. So I need to climb these vines in a very specific spot. Okay. Actually, that looks a little weird. I'm going to make sure that works correctly. Okay, that looks better.
Hey, Ben, I'm just going to shout out real quick. We have hit our bonus game for Stray. We did it! It's here. So more AGDQ, more cat game. It's going to be great. Thanks so much for your donations, everybody.
Okay, so I get into a very specific position here, and now I need to basically turn Link to a very specific angle. Okay, that's the first one. Gotta do one more. Okay, that's the second one. This should work. Okay, nice. That went pretty well, minus the hiccups at the beginning. Okay, so gamestabled, can you explain invisible scenes, please?
Yeah, so there's this thing in OT3D where in a lot of places, seemingly random at first, there's just collision that goes goes vertically very quickly. And you can walk up this to gain height in seemingly random places. And you just saw one of those right by those vines right there. So what Ben did is he walked up this, we call them invisible seams, this very narrow piece of ground collision that he gave him a lot of height quickly. And it gave him enough to actually side hop out of bounds from where he was standing. And And so the reason he's done this, he's gone on the bounds, is he's now maneuvering. So normally you get the egg from Malin and use the chicken that hatches from that to wake up Talon, so you can push these blocks and get up to this little waterway.
That's so scary.
He actually navigated out of bounds and rode the water back up to the surface to get to the crawl space without doing any of that. So that's actually, I think, the newest trick in this run, the newest development.
All right, that's kind of random. It happens sometimes. Yeah, that trick is really hard. It probably didn't end up actually saving any time because I did it a little sloppily, but like it looks really cool and I don't think it wasted any time. So that's fine. But yeah, that is just like an insanely difficult trick. And if it goes wrong, it's like really bad. Okay, so these guards are... That first guy is just kind of random. The rest of them are pretty predictable. They are still random. They move in random ways. But as far as knowing how to not get caught by them, they are pretty predictable. So, okay, I hope this guy comes all the way down. Nope, he's going to stop. He's going to be slow. So I'm just going to wait for him to move. All right, just going to go right behind him. All right, not the best pattern, but there's really nothing you can do about that. Okay. All right. Well, that's one of the hardest parts of the run out of the way. So I think we have opportunity. This is probably the longest donation segment here. So you can probably just go until I tell you to stop.
All right, I'll just keep going. Let's do it. So we have $50 from Farm Girl who says, "Hey, Sent, could you please give back the spiritual stones? We kind of need them for saving Hyrule. And the Master Sword, too. Please stop stealing the items we need to defeat Ganon and giving them away as prizes." Oh, I'm sorry, Farm Girl, but thanks so much for your donation. We also have a $250 donation from Nert who says, "I've been watching for longer than I can recall, but I look forward to every event. Thank you all for everyone's contribution to making this event so incredible. Organizers, crew, runners, PCF, and all of the viewers at home all make this such a wonderful community and a beloved part of my life. Thank you." And thank you for your donation. We have $100 from Windchaser316 who says, "Longtime viewer, first time donating today. I always admire the work that goes into these GDQ events. Here is a silver rupee for the cause. Good luck." All right, we also have a $50 donation from Glacier Wolf who says, "I always look forward to these events. Thanks for all the hard work, everyone." And thank you for all of your donations. Just shouting out our next incentive that is open as well. So because we've hit Stray, the next incentive that we would like to go for is Neon White's Rainbow Heaven Rush. And in order to hit that, we need to hit $25,000 and we are almost at 5,000. So y'all are doing great. Let's keep those donations coming in for the Prevent Cancer Foundation, all right? All right. Would you like some more donations still?
Yeah, we probably got about another minute or so here. This cutscene's very long.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
We have $25 from Darklink765 who says, "Of course I had to get my donation in during the remake of the game that got me into speedrunning in the first place. Good luck on the run, Ben Stevens, and for a blast to the past, shoutouts to the time you absolutely demolished me back in Renner Guy's 2016 OOT Rookie Bingo Tournament."
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that is a blast from the past. Hey, Runner Guy, if you're watching this, we need to do another one of those, okay? That was great.
Heck yeah.
Probably time for one more.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a $50 donation from Anonymous who says, "Love watching GDQ every year. Thank you so much for all you do. To the staff, the runners, and everyone who makes it all possible. And thank you to you who are donating. Y'all are doing amazing. Love seeing all of these donations come in. Keep it up."
Okay, so very long cutscene, but I think at this point I'm going to start kind of explaining what this route even is and why it's so different from anything that happened before. So years ago, we kind of had this problem where the run kind of hinged on collecting one item, which is the bomb bag, to use bombs. And That item kind of allowed for a lot of tricks and skips and glitches and stuff that let us beat the game very quickly, or at least it let us, kind of get around very fast and get the rest of the items that we need to beat the game fast. And we couldn't really figure out a way to get the bomb bag any faster. It was like a big problem. And we had all these theories. Oh my goodness, can't backboard. We had all these theories and like, there's a really great video on it. This guy right here, Gymnast, and it's just like, how are we going to do this? And so eventually we realized that with a bunch of crazy tricks that are going to come up later, that we could pretty much just not get them earlier and just not get them at all. So this run doesn't end up getting any bomb bag or explosives or anything like that. And so we're just going to have to make do without them, which gets technical, but it's good. It's very good. I want to side hop in front of this guy. Oh, insane. That guy right there is, if you get stuck behind him, is really slow because you can't roll, because you'll talk to him. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to open the gate to Death Mountain Trail using this guard, and start making my way up Death Mountain Trail. So kind of what this run is going to end up doing is kind of our final goal is we need to get the item Farore's Wind, and we're going to use that to do a glitch towards the end of the game. But in order to collect that item, you first need to unlock the magic meter, and that is at the top of Death Mountain Trail. So we need to get there. But normally to get there, you need to collect the bomb bag first, which again, that's kind of the whole problem that we were running into. That should be good. Okay, doing another super slide here, just to make our way up this mountain quicker. And I'm gonna pause here to change my angle. That was kind of slow. Okay, and I need to not get hit by this guy. Okay, he's a little scary. If you get hit by that guy, you just get like yeeted off the side of the cliff, and you void out, and you have to start the area over. So it's like really annoying. Okay, this is gonna look stupid, because it kind of is. Oh, I didn't want to take that damage. Okay, I gotta back up. Okay, so yeah, this is gonna look really dumb what's about to happen here, but basically, I'm going to be loading and unloading rooms in a very specific way. So I'm gonna enter that room and then leave, and then I'm gonna go in further, and then I'm gonna leave again, and then I'm gonna go back in. I'm gonna pick up this Deku Stick. These are gonna be important later. Oh, and I'd also like to say that I don't think does anyone know why this works?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do? Yeah, please explain it, actually.
So the game gets confused.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, as simple as.
Okay, I'm gonna grab this heart here because I'm gonna need it. Okay, so right now I'm taking this torch over here because I need to unlock this shortcut. So you can activate bomb flowers by hitting them with a lit torch. So I need to keep my camera on that until it blows up. I'm going to be using that path later. I'm going to do one more. Okay, so I've moved into that room. So right now, this statue right here is just gone. You could just go right through it. I don't know why that works. It just happens. Very cool. Okay, so I'm basically going through Death Mountain Crater right here just as a fast way to get to the top of Death Mountain Trail. So that's why I needed that part, because the timer at the bottom, if that ticks down to 0, Link dies. I don't want that. And that timer is related to how much health you have at the time when you enter the area. So if my health is too low, I don't have enough time to make it to the top. Okay, so right here you're going to see another one of those triple slash clips, but this one is very particular because the angle here is really weird.
Yeah, so in this triple slash clip, the wall, Link moves away from the wall while you're doing the slashes, and so you have to do this additional input here. Yeah, then got it.
Okay.
Where you backwalk between the slashes to get yourself close to the wall so you can actually get the recoil to get pushed into the corner and clip through.
Yeah, so I just went through a wall there. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, but it's really wacky. The timing's really tight. I think it's like a 1 or 2 frame window, so it's hard. We probably have time for one donation right now.
Absolutely. So we have a $25 donation from Smash Bro D, who says, if Link were to own a car, what kind would he drive? Why, it'd be a Kia, of course. I'll see myself out. Best of luck, Ben.
Probably one more. Yeah, you probably get time for one more.
Yeah, totally. We have a $50 donation from Jasper the Purple Dirg, who says, always grateful to all the runners, hosts, and all the event organizers at GDQ for continuing to raise so much for such great causes. Good luck on the run, Ben Stevens. And thanks so much for your donation, Jasper.
Okay, so I'm going to do a save warp here. This is going to take me back to the first area of the game. I'm going to be back in Kokiri Forest. And so what I'm going to go and do right now is I'm going to make my way to collect Furora's Wind, because I said earlier, that's kind of what I'm trying to do right now. So I'm going to make my way through Kokiri Forest. Coming up is probably the hardest trick in this run. And it needs to go correctly. It's not like something that I can kind of just say like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna not do that and like lose a little bit of time. Like, no, I absolutely need to do this trick that's coming up in a minute or two here, and it's very difficult. It's very hard, and it'll be serious time. Okay, so in this area, I am waiting for your fairy companion, Navi, to kind of talk to me. And so what happens is Navi will talk to you after about 30 seconds of being in an area. So I kind of need to wait around for a couple of seconds for Navi to show up, doing her little hey, listen thing that everyone loves to talk about. And the reason I need that is because I'm going to do a trick here called a Navi dive. And a Navi dive basically is... Link is going to take a big step back, and when I talk to Navi here, that water gets unloaded, so I can just sink right through it. So normally you need a special item to be able to dive down into that area to reach that shortcut, but you can just do a Navi dive, skip it. It's pretty easy. Okay. I'm going to enter Zora's Domain, and once I'm in Zora's Domain, I'm going to collect some Deku Nuts. They're going to be a very important item, and I'm going to collect a lot of them because technically you don't need like that many of them, but they are a part of the trick that I'm going to be doing. So every time I fail it, I'm going to start losing Deku Nuts, and I need to not run out of them. That's bad. So I'm gonna pick up extra, more than I normally would.
Don't fail it.
I will not fail this, I hope. It's a very difficult trick. Okay. Then I'm going to enter this shop here. Oh, I'm going to enter it, not hug the wall. And I'm going to buy more. And then I'm going to leave, and I'm going to pick up more from the pot. Nope. Just trying to skip the area text. Okay. So side hopping up slopes is pretty good. It's fast. That's why I'm doing it here. But over long distances, it's not great unless you're like a machine, because you need to basically do it perfect for it to be fast on flat ground. Okay, right there is another triple slash cliff. That's probably the easiest one in the game. You can just go through that wall and swim through. Okay, this is the hard trick. So if you remember earlier in the run, I did what was called an invisible seam hover. I'm going to do another one of those here, but this one requires some very specific movement when I'm on top of the seam to gain a very specific amount of height. And it's very hard. So this is kind of serious time. Okay, so need to get in this corner and do a very specific setup. Okay, I'm on the seam. That's good. That's the easy part, though. This is the hard part. Okay. Okay, this looks good. Nice. Oh my goodness. Woo. I've been worrying about that for like 2 weeks. Okay. Okay, so basically what happens there is, oh my goodness. Basically what happens there is once I get on that seam, so those seams are really high and they're really, really steep, and you can kind of walk up them if you strafe to the side just a little tiny bit. And so by doing a quick spin, you can go up really, really fast. And you can go up to the exact amount of height that you want to go up to. And so basically when you throw the Deku Nut, you're buffering the quick spin so that you don't fall off the seam, because it's tiny. It's like very, very small. It's like pixel small, basically. And so you do that to buffer the quick spins so you don't fall off, and then you need to do 3 perfect quick spins in a row to get to the top, and then side hop to clip through this little corner of the wall, and it's... Wow, that's so scary. Okay, probably have time for a donation right now.
Shoutouts to Venice.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll let you breathe for a bit. So we have a $50 donation from Chaotic Crow, who says, "A Legend of Zelda run? Always a treat. Who else is excited for Tears of the Kingdom? Incentive goes to runner's choice." Thanks so much, Chaotic Crow. We appreciate it.
Yeah, also special shout outs to Venick in the green shirt on the couch for we kind of knew that trick was possible, but he was the one that kind of went in and was like, let's figure out a way to like actually make this feasible for like a normal human person to be able to do, because beforehand it was like basically like no one was going to be able to get it in a run. And then also shout outs to Pal62 over in Japan for finding that particular setup that I did there. He is insane at finding setups for those tricks because like I said, that position and all that I use is like insanely precise. It's would not be possible without a really good setup. So shout outs to those guys. So I never actually really explained what Furore's Wind is or what it does, but basically when you get it, there's text that says it'll let you set a warp point in a dungeon and return to it later. So you're only supposed to be able to use it in a dungeon, but we don't care because we're going to use a glitch here called restricted items, where you can use items that you're normally not allowed to use in that area. And so, my audio got okay, that's fine. So yeah, we're going to use that to set a warp point right there. And so the way that works is if you swap an item that you can use with an item you can't use, they're like quote unquote usability. I'm getting messed up here. Okay, they're quote unquote usability, like the ability to use that item. They get swapped for like 1 frame. So there's 1 frame where I was able to use Furore's Wind, and I used it on that 1 frame. We do it a lot in other categories, so you get really good at hitting that frame. So right there, it's not scary, but I'm gonna have to do that trick again in a little bit, and it's gonna be a lot scarier. Okay, probably have time for one more really quick donation.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a $500 donation from Izala, who says, "I can't believe they remade Ocarina of Time with 3 dimensions. It's just like Breath of the Wild." Wow. Thanks so much for your donation.
Okay, this is also really, really hard. I'm going to try to do it. If I miss it, it's a little slower, but it's not a huge deal. But it's also really cool, so I want to get it. Okay, we're going up. Okay. All right, 1, 2. Didn't get it. That's fine. Oh, I really didn't want to do that. Okay, that's fine. We'll just save warp to the top. Okay, whoops. Not a huge deal, not a huge deal. So I'm just gonna have to climb to the top of this room normally. But basically what you could do is you could ride that seam all the way to the top of the room, which is where I want to be. And just skip having to do all this movement with climbing the vines and stuff. It really doesn't save that much time, but it looks so cool. Yeah,
so the thing with these invisible seams is they're not actually random. So if you can visualize in your head, like how Link is normally allowed, there's a little bit of leniency in the horizontal distance to the floor that he's allowed to stand on before he actually falls off. And that same amount of horizontal leniency still applies even when the quote-unquote floor is actually a really steep wall. So that if you manage to get perfectly on that thin little slice, and there's another one happening right here, of a wall that's below you, you can actually walk up it and gain a huge amount of vertical height. So that's what's happening here.
Okay, that was nice too. All right, that's also really hard and kind of inconsistent. But basically what I did right there is I wrote another one of those scenes up and used it to clip through the ceiling, and then I side hopped out of bounds. So loading zones in this game are always active. So even though that the room that loading zone is usually in is not loaded and I wasn't in it, you can still reach it if you are able to get to it, but you usually can't unless you do something crazy like flip out of bounds. All right, this fight's actually kind of hard.
It's close too.
Okay, nice. Ooh. You want them to go up on the ceiling. You have to time those slashes really precisely. Okay, maybe it might be time in a minute. I don't know. I have to do one more really hard trick, and I hope I get it, but it's really hard. So I'm gonna safety save. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. Okay, wasn't close enough. Oh no. Nope, that's a frame early. Oh, I'm a gamer. Oh, I'm a gamer. Okay, time in a second. Time. And there's the credit. Wow. Okay. I realized I didn't explain at all what just happened there. So that's what's known as a wrong word, okay? So basically, I set that Ferrer's win point in Goron City. And so when you enter a blue warp at the end of the dungeon, the game tries to do two things, okay? It tries to take you somewhere else, and it tries to play a cutscene. So what I did basically is I returned Ferrer's Wind on the same time that the blue warp tried to take me somewhere else. And so what happened is I overrid that, and I went, don't take me to Kokiri Forest, actually take me to Goron City, that's where I want to go. And then it tried to play that same cutscene in Goron City, which that's not the right cutscene, it's actually the credits that plays there. So the credits is made up of like a bunch of different little cutscenes in each area. So it tried to play a certain number of cutscene in Goron City, which just so happens to be the credits, and we beat the game. Wow, that went really well. I'm actually kind of amazed. What was the time?
Final time looks to be 30 minutes and 47 seconds.
That's pretty good. Wow, I'm really happy with that. So, yeah, that's the run. Just a couple of shout outs to everyone in this room here for being here this week. All very close friends of mine, and I'm super glad they could all be here with me. Shout out to everyone doing the donations. It's very awesome. Thanks for donating such a good cause. And yeah, I don't really have much else to say. That went pretty well. Just any of you guys, anything?
Good job.
Thanks. Yeah, I think that's it.
Awesome. All right, well, everyone, let's give another round of applause for Ben Stephens and that incredible Ocarina of Time 3D run. I have not seen anything like that in a long time. I know it's one of my favorite games of all time, and I sure can't do that. It takes me much longer, but that was absolutely incredible to watch. All right, let's check in on some of our donations before we keep going. Just an update on the total, y'all. We are at $791,000 raised for the Prevent Cancer Foundation, which means that we only have $9,000 left to go until we hit $800,000. Isn't that incredible? Let's keep up this momentum, everybody. That is absolutely amazing. Couple donations before we keep going. We had a $50 donation from Snownin, who said, "My girlfriend has never seen GDQ before, but she's very excited for Ocarina of Time, Spyro 2, and Stray. Basically, the only 3 games on the schedule she's played before. We're excited to see all 3 back to back, so let's make it happen. Love you, honey." Thanks so much for your donation. Y'all too sweet. Y'all too sweet. Also, a nice reminder, $50 from an intelligent fern who says, "Keep up the great work and stay hydrated." So don't forget, chat, stay hydrated. All right, next up, we have a quick word from one of our sponsors, the Yeti. Take it away. All right, how about that? I have been checking out some of those t-shirts this week as well, and I'm definitely tempted by a few of those designs. So let me know your favorite in the chat. I am really curious to see what designs you've been checking out as well. Just a reminder that just because we have hit our Stray incentive does not mean that all of the incentives are closed. So make sure that when you are sending in your donations, you select which incentive you would like to see your donation go towards. One of the next ones that is opened is Neon White Rainbow Heaven Rush that we need $25,000 for, and we are already almost at $6,000. There are many more incentives as well, so make sure to check out all of those, as well as a new bonus game that is opened for tomorrow. I'll give you a hint. It includes Mario Kart and it includes some bonus courses. So make sure to check that out and click on the incentive when you send in your donations, because that would be amazing. All right, I have some bittersweet news for all of y'all. This has been the end of my shift here with you as your host on AGDQ 2023 online, and it's actually also my final shift of the marathon. It has been so wonderful spending time with all of you, raising money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation, and I hope that you welcome the next host just as warmly as you did me. It has been such a joy to be with you all. My name is Lanaruse, or Lana, whatever you'd like to call me, and I hope y'all have a great rest of your evening. I believe Conception will be on after this next break, so make sure to say your hellos, all right? Be kind, and keep those donations rolling in. It's been a pleasure. We'll catch you right after this break. Bye!
Welcome back to Awesome Games Done Quick 2023 Online. My name is Conception, and I am so lucky to be taking over hosting duties for these next few runs. Of course, we're going to be starting with that bonus game that you all worked so hard to unlock, Stray. But I just cannot say how excited I am. I'm going to be here for the next few runs. We have a number of open incentives. For example, we have the Rainbow Heaven Rush that can be tacked onto the Neon White Heaven Rush that we have coming up. So don't forget to look for that. And of course, we have our next bonus game incentive open, which is Mario Kart 8. So continue to get your donations in for that. We are going to take a second here, of course, to kind of remind everybody exactly what we are raising funds for here with a wonderful interview with Jay Hobbs and Rick Avila.
I'm joined by Rick Avila, who has been on multiple times, no stranger to GDQ video. Rick, thanks for joining me.
Glad to be back.
Yeah. Could you introduce yourself a bit and about what your role is, or exactly what kind of work you do?
I'm a computer scientist. I've been pursuing AI since mid-'80s, and I've watched it evolve over the many years, and I'm very involved in artificial intelligence for lung cancer screening.
So you've talked with us before about the kind of calibration devices that GDQ has helped to fund. Can you tell us a little bit more about how that project has been going?
You got to remember that most CT scanners are designed to measure all kinds of things. They're generally what's considered to be the Swiss Army knife of imaging. But they're not particularly well designed to measure out in the periphery where lung nodules tend to show up and lung cancers tend to show up. So we designed phantoms that can do that are ultra low cost, and you guys helped us deploy them around the world.
And a phantom being basically like a small little test device that can help you calibrate a machine.
Right, it's a calibration device, and we just want to make sure that when we do imaging of somebody for lung cancer screening, that scanner is operating at a reasonable level. You all helped fund us to put 40 of our first phantoms, called CTLX-1s, around the world. And then that was so successful that we also got some more funding to put a much larger, more involved phantom throughout Poland. And we've had just tremendous response from not just Poland, but countries around the world.
You said you've been part of this workshop for 19 years since inception. Give me a ballpark of kind of what processing time would have been like for a scan trying to identify nodules and stuff back at the beginning, or if there even was such a possibility.
So in around 2021, I was leading GE's AI. We deployed lung nodule AI, lung nodule detection around the world for testing. It took about, I think it was around 3 minutes. And now we can do it in 20 seconds. So, and much better, higher performance, and with much more data.
If I know you've always got some prop or something to really show us.
Oh yeah.
You had something in mind, I believe, here as well.
We've been sending out phantoms and calibration devices with small objects in it, like ellipsoids and other things. But that's not really the shape of a real lung cancer, and especially a very early lung cancer. So lately what we've been doing is we've been using some of the latest 3D printers. So then we can take a patient's early lung cancer, let's say they found a lung cancer during screening when it was 8 millimeters in diameter, and we can extract it out, a model of it, and then we can print it. And like you see here, what we're doing is we're asking clinical sites all around the world to send us early lung cancers that are difficult to measure, and we're copying them. We're now sending them back out to the clinical sites and putting them in the phantoms and calibration devices I was telling you about, and we're asking them to image them and measure them. But this is now the first time we're using 3D printers to take early lung cancers. This is a very lucky person who had this lung cancer. It was removed at this size. This would exponentially grow at probably 180-day doubling time or faster, and it would kill the person within a year or two. So we're able to take an image like this, turn it into a 3D print, and ship it around the world with hundreds of them sent to different locations around the world. And we're able to get data now that we've never been able to get before. So it's an exciting time.
Well, thank you, Rick, so much for your time, and it's very valuable, and we really appreciate you spending it with us.
Thank you.
We are raising funds for, and it's always wonderful to see how what we do impacts directly. So thank you so much to J Hobbs for doing that lovely interview. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we are just about ready. So if you have cats at home, you're gonna wanna hold them tight and hold them close. Maybe give them a few extra pets, because we have your bonus game, Stray, ready to go, run by Arams. Show us how it's done.